He was created by space aliens, the workings of a lunatic professor, the skeleton of the original Godzilla, mechanics built around him. We're talking, of course, about Mechagodzilla here on Inside the Toy Room. So welcome once again to our final Halloween special of Inside the Toy Room. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit the little bell so you're notified every single time that we upload a new episode on Inside the Toy Room. So as I mentioned at the top of this episode, we're going to be taking a look at one of my favourite kaiju monsters, and that would be Mechagodzilla. Now if we're taking a look at villains, Mechagodzilla is a brilliant villain. He first made his appearance in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 1974. The film starts where it just looks like Godzilla's smashing up Tokyo and beating the hell out of Anguirus, but he's got this weird screeching sound instead of this trademark Godzilla roar. As the film progresses, about halfway in, all of a sudden, building collapses and it appears the real Godzilla, and you're like, oh wow, there's two Godzillas. Blasts his radioactive ray at the other one, bits of metal start appearing, and then the next thing he just transforms and this jazzy 70s music starts to do. It's really funny. But what reveals is this evil looking robot, and that would be this here. Now, people have favourite variations of Mechagodzilla. This one's mine, the original, the 1971. He just looks evil. Actually evil. There's something about him that's just so terrifying, just the bolts showing, just the mechanics, the spikes, just everything about him. Now, this is a little miniature statue, but it's actually a Christmas tree ornament. I love the detail of it, and what I loved about it even more was this. I am such a punter for lights and sounds. I just love this. It's a little diorama. It doesn't move or anything, but it's just a little diorama that to me captures the true terror of that Mechagodzilla. Now, speaking of terror of Mechagodzilla, that was the sequel film that came out in 1975. At that point, Mechagodzilla was now controlled by this evil mad scientist. He teamed up with Tyrannosaurus, which is this weird dinosaur, basically. They fight Godzilla, but Godzilla still prevails. In the first one, there's a really good bit where Godzilla defeats him by ripping its head off. So he does it again, of course, in Terror of Mechagodzilla, because he's smart and he remembers Godzilla's a thinking fighter. Guess what? They've adapted this, and he can still fight without its head and still shoots lasers and rockets and everything and just about destroys Godzilla. It's just a badass monster. And that would be the last that we would see of Mechagodzilla, and that was until 1993 when he was reimagined. This time he was a hero though, and he was created by G-Force. Now, G-Force is basically a company that is employed to defend Tokyo against Godzilla whenever he attacks. For how good the Heisei era was, and that's my favourite era of Godzilla, I thought this was terrible. Like, I really didn't like the look of it. I thought it looked like a little boxy, hokey robot. He has this almost weird smile to his face. Like, I just don't like the look of this Mechagodzilla. Some people do like it. It definitely isn't as intimidating as, say, this one, and nor should it be, because, you know, he's a hero, right? So we gotta like this guy, not be afraid of him. He would get reimagined a few other times with Mechagodzilla, and one of those would be Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. I know, it's hard, right? Try to keep up. But in the 2000s era, basically every film that they released then was just a direct sequel to the original 1954 film. So there was no continuity from year to year. It was just, this happened in 1954, and then this happens in whenever, this one being in 2003. So basically, they get the skeleton of the original 1954 Godzilla, bring it out of the ocean, and decide to build a mechanical robot Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, to fight against Godzilla. Again, defend Tokyo, right? But, you know, things go wrong when the skeleton somehow possesses the computer, and what I love is that his eyes change from yellow to red, so this skeleton has a working brain, and he possesses this Mechagodzilla and ends up going on a rampage of his own across Tokyo. And it turns out that it's like, oh hell, we hope Godzilla actually beats him because we need him to. In regards to look, I love the look of this one. Like, this is a close contender to rivaling the 70s Mechagodzilla. Bandai did a great job, as I've mentioned before, of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, with the ones who've been producing a lot of the Godzilla action figures in Japan. I have a lot of these ones, the 6-inch ones. I think they've got a lot of detail. They haven't got the greatest articulation. You get the basic, like, arms move. The legs don't move on this one. Head does, but that's about it. So the articulation isn't great, but it's a really good detailed figure, which I really like about it. You're the true monster in here. You have a look around the toy room. You're done. Now, as I mentioned at the top of this episode, Mechagodzilla has appeared in different forms of media. One of them, which would be more noticeable to myself, would be in Godzilla the series, which was really the direct sequel to the 1998 Sony the American Zilla. What was so good about the cartoon, as I've mentioned before, is that it did a really good job of honouring the original source material, and they reimagined Mechagodzilla for themselves. To be fair, they were the innovators of getting the Godzilla torso and building on it, because this was in 2003 and the cartoon was in like 99. So they beef up the original Zilla, put a bunch of mechanical stuff on him so that he can move. He's got a robotic arm, he can shoot missiles. I like that look, to be honest, and that was their interpretation of Mechagodzilla. It was a really cool Mechagodzilla. And then later on, if you've ever seen, Ready Player One is a really, really, really good film, especially for anyone who's, into like nerdy stuff. There's so many little Easter eggs. Pepper, you are just driving me mad. There's so many good little Easter eggs in Ready Player One for comic book fans, or like just nerd culture in general. But for me, the reaction in the cinema when they go, "Oh my God, it's Mechagodzilla!" My word, did I lose all of my business. I was with Gemma in the cinema and she's never sat with me when I've actually exploded with enjoyment. I didn't care what anyone else thought. The moment he appeared, I went, "Oh my God!" I was so ecstatic. Like, to see Mechagodzilla in mainstream cinema to a Western audience was, and then to it being a film that you just like completely unexpected to see him in. This isn't like it's a Godzilla film. Man, and that look, I thought they captured it so well. Gave him a modernized look, their take on it. It was kind of like a Mechagodzilla of the Legendary. There's rumors that, in Godzilla vs. Kong, we're going to see Mechagodzilla in some form or another, which I'm very excited to see. I have seen some of the toys, and you can check out that episode right here. And as I mentioned in there, I'm not too happy about it, if I'm completely honest. I think that Mechagodzilla doesn't look so good. They should have just stuck with the Ready Player One look. Regardless, I'm definitely going to end up with some of those action figures from that film, and they will be featured inside the toy room. But that would be it. In regards to the toy history of Mechagodzilla, there's been so many. So many. You can get more miniatures like this. Like I mentioned, Bandai were producing ones for years, and they had a few interpretations of the 1970s one and the 1993 one, along with the name for this one is actually Kairu. They changed the name of it, which it's not Kairu, it's Mechagodzilla. The name of the film was Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla, so let's not try and change it. Kairu. Silliness. There's been so many toys produced by Bandai and other smaller toy companies. I just can't keep track. To try and get hold of all of them would be nigh on impossible for me with my budget anyways. These people out there are die-hard collectors of all things Godzilla, and I've seen some amazing Mechagodzilla collections. If you just search hashtag Mechagodzilla on, say, Instagram, you'd see some wonderful stuff. I know I have, and I'm very jealous of some people's toy rooms. But that would be it for this edition of Inside the Toy Room. I hope you have enjoyed this Halloween special that we've been doing for the past 5 weeks. As I've mentioned before, this was inspired by Aries Quinones over at Variant Comics. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. It's so good. It's especially if you're into comic books. Like, I can't praise him enough for the good work that he does over at Variant. So yeah, go check out that channel, give him a subscription, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and join us next week when we go back to normality inside the toy room, and I'm actually unboxing a figure inside the toy room. I can't believe this. Like, I don't unbox stuff, but there was a reason. So yeah, join us next week for an unboxing of Barbarian Hulk by Diamond Select, which I've already done. We previously filmed that one before the Halloween special, but still join us next week. Oh, we have a laugh. My back hurts.